Good morning, friends. I am thoroughly enjoying my time at the Yearling Cabins here in Cross Creek, Florida. I'm standing at the Cross Creek. There's a small creek right behind me, as you see, and then another creek that crosses it right here. Thus the name Cross Creek, and the home of Marjorie Kinnan Rowlings. Our time has come to an end here at these amazing little cabins in Cross Creek. I really hate to leave. I've enjoyed the morning fire, drank all the coffee I'm going to drink today. Got to make it back to work tonight, but not before we stop at the home of Marjorie Kinnan Rowlings, the reason that all of this even exists, and then on to our next destination, our main adventure for today, the Yearling Trail. This should be really fun. Let's go. Right in front of the Marjorie Rollins home is this placard, some information. Along with some pamphlets of information about Marjorie Rollins and the park, there's this blue envelope that you can put your admission fee to the park in. Mosquitoes are terrorizing me out here, and I'm the only one here, so I'm gonna take my chance. The gate is open. I'm gonna see if someone's here. Maybe I can just pay them in person instead of fight all the mosquitoes. Gotta keep moving. Yes. This is a really cool park. This is a state historic park. There's some pretty authentic things around here. I don't know how much is authentic to the property itself, but there's some placards around. We'll find out. But some old farm tools, and right now we're staying in the barn on Marjorie's property. You might be wondering, who the heck is Marjorie Kinnan Rowlings? Well, Marjorie was the author of a very popular book that came out in 1938 called The Yearling Cabins, Yearling Restaurant, etc. Well, The Yearling was so popular, it became a movie starring Gregory Peck. Gregory was nominated for an Oscar, received an Oscar that year, along with his other counterparts in that movie. It was a very successful movie. Well, this is the part of Florida that it was written about. It was actually written about a specific family and some stories that Marjorie learned of them while she stayed with them for a week in the area. Marjorie was from New York. She moved down here to this homestead and lived out most of the rest of her days before she moved to St. Augustine later in life. Let's go check out her homestead. Well, friends, unfortunately, it looks like the Marjorie Kinnan Rowlings house is closed for cleaning. Definitely not open today. We'll take a look around outside the property. Still cool. Well, right outside the house. Thing of beauty. Hey, you chickens. Well, it looks like that is all we are going to see from the Marjorie Kinnan Rowlings homestead. I did talk to a couple of nice attendants there that were cleaning the inside of the home. They explained that it opens back up on October 1st. You can enjoy a very clean property and probably less mosquitoes at that time of the year. The nice people up there also told me that Marjorie was a gourmet cook and made a #1 selling cookbook. So I might have to check that out. I'm not much of a cook.
Head east, then turn left.
not much of a cook, but maybe that would motivate me a little bit. Time to hit the road, make our way to this trail. Luckily I brought jeans today, like a good Florida gentleman. I will be protected from mosquitoes as much as possible. Trail we're going to be hiking on today is right up here by Lake George, right there, the Ocala National Forest. It's cool, you can follow the orange blazes on this trail as part of the trail that goes all the way across the state from east to west. We have parked right here at the Yearling Trailhead. I'm going to make my way all the way over here to number 8. We're going to go ahead and bypass number 7. That's quite a long ways off. This is a 5-mile trail all the way back around. We're going to take the 3.5-mile trail that goes through Jody's Trace. I really want to see number 9 here though. This is the filming location of the yearling. Also number 4 is the sinkhole that in real life the fawn, who was actually named Flag, was found and then raised by Calvin's son Melvin. Then we're going to make our way back down Jody's Trace and then back to the car. This is the real Florida scrub forest. It is very dense. The only reason that I'm able to walk through this right now is because it's a very old trail. It's been here since the 1840s. Back in the 1840s, a guy named Patrick Smith settled this land and shortly after became a community here. In the 1930s, 1934, I believe, the last residents left the area, and they were friends with Marjorie Kinnan Rowlings. She made the book, The Yearling, about their life, and this trail leads to their homestead and some very important places that you'll see in the movie, The Yearling, which I watched last night. It's a very good movie. You saw on the sign back there, a couple places, be prepared for black bears. That is a real thing. I am looking around for footprints of different critters, things. Hopefully I don't see a version of Slewfoot myself. If you haven't seen the movie, The Yearling, it's very good. It's about a young boy, Jody Baxter, his dad, Penny, his mom, Ori. Their life out here in Florida, right here in this spot. In fact, geez, lots of critters here. This trail leads to the filming locations for the movie. Looking forward to seeing it. It is pretty hot out today. They call this Pat's Island. It's not an actual island where there's water, but it's a place where in Florida, sometimes you have an area that's a little bit more elevated than the area of land around it. It creates a different environment than much of its surroundings. So this, back in the 1840s, when Pat came here to settle it, was then called Pat's Island. Had things like this sinkhole. Check it out. It's your common, everyday, average sinkhole. We did just pass a fork in the trail. We're going to take this straightaway and not the right away and go all the way to the end of the trail where the homestead of Calvin and Mary Long is. Marjorie wrote The Yearling based on a story she heard from Calvin Long back in 1933 when she spent the week out here with the family. They were the very last inhabitants of the area, and she was really interested in the life of the people that settled this land. So she took an interest in and came out here and recorded a lot of their conversation, a lot of their stories. The Yearling is based on a story that Calvin experienced as a young boy, where he found an orphaned deer and raised it. This is the set for the movie. All of the outdoor shots were taken right here in this part of Florida, on this specific trail and in these locations. Can't quite tell, looks like a bear track though. This is post number 10. Number 10 on the map is Calvin's daughter, Cora. This is her homestead. The Long Cemetery. Hey, Toad. This is a much larger sinkhole than I was expecting. Wow. This sinkhole is where Jody found the yearling in the movie. It was laying in its nest somewhere down there. This is also where the Long family and others in the community came for water. The sinkhole is created by limestone when it gives way. Here in Florida, there's underground rivers that go under the limestone, and that over time erodes and creates sometimes gigantic sinkholes just like this. Number 3 on the trail is Calvin Long's field, north side of the trail. Looks like a pretty large deer. I think this is a post for number 2. If it is number 2, that means there's a cattle trough around here that the locals would bring their livestock to. It contained a little bit of arsenic to keep the ticks out. Ticks are a major problem here in this part of Florida, and I haven't seen any yet, but I am on the lookout. Also on the lookout for this cattle trough. Let's go try to find it. Well, not really easy to see a pathway in. By the opening in the trees up here, I think that there is something back there. I don't see any way to get there though. The scrub is so thick, there's just no, you have to walk through this thicket to get there. And I think I'm just gonna let it be. Ah, heck, let's go see. Nope, not there. Aha. Much more conspicuous location on the trail is the cattle water trough. I've come to the end of the trail. I'm walking back on the beginning of the trail that I came in on. The one location that I really wanted to see and show you is the filming location of the Yearling, their homestead, the Baxter homestead. It was not really disclosed on the trail. On the map it shows where it is. I did walk around that area, but there was no sign of any buildings or anything there. Everything's really grown over out here, as a scrub forest does. Things grow very fast here in Florida, including these gigantic spiders. It's been a really hot Florida day. It's time to take a little break at our last destination before we head back home. The trail is really awesome. I love experiencing Florida like that, in old Florida, thinking about what it was like for those pioneers that have gone before us to live off the land in these very rural places. I made my way over to Eustis, Florida on my way home. Got to work tonight, so I'm going to stop in here at Wolf Branch Brewing Company. Unfortunately, they're not on the hop passport, but I'm sure they'll offer some good beers and we'll have a good time anyway. So let's go, check it out. It appears that they are closed, so we'll find another place. As it turns, in a town nearby, Mount Dora, there's another location of Wolf Branch. They are open, so let's go check that one out instead. Mount Dora is a really cool town. They have an art festival here a couple times a year. Very active downtown area. We should come back here for a couple of days. Thank you. Wolf Branch Brewing was very good. They have some excellent beers. Glad I stopped by here in Mount Dora to check it out. I think we should take some more time in Mount Dora soon to explore this cool little town. But for now, I've got to make my way back to work this evening. So I'm gonna head back to the homestead, get some rest. Friends, if you like what you're seeing, hit like, hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.